Imagine you're going about daily life, minding your own business. Suddenly, you receive a letter from a friend named Henry Allen you knew long ago. It's a strange letter, full of regret for something Henry is about to do. He's asking you to move to his city, take up his business, and keep watch over his wife Juliet. The city is dangerous, he says, full of things you can't understand, but you must pay attention to the shadows because they're important. You then learn Henry committed suicide, though there is some doubt over whether he hung himself or was murdered. So what do you do with this information? How do you live? And how do you carry out Henry's last requests? That's exactly what AI Pixels, a place fully unwilling, task you with finding out on a daily basis in the 21 days you have to live until the city is swallowed by darkness. Before we get straight into the review, let me know down below if this is a game you're looking at picking up and what interests you most about it. So where to start? Well, every choice you make counts in this game, from how you sign your letters to which shops you frequent and whether you take sides in the city's growing class war. You won't see everything there is in one playthrough, as one real world second equals to one in-game minute. The story starts with you establishing some basics about your character, that being gender, name, pronouns, and choosing how you want to save the game. The first is saving at the beginning of each day, and the second is saving when you exit the game. This is more important than it initially seems, depending on how you want to approach the game. The game's charm is in making spur-of-the-moment decisions and forging your path as you move, or sometimes blunder, along. You're presented with a handful of bigger choices early on. The first is whether you want to take up Henry's buying and selling of the business, or focus on uncovering the truth behind his death. Of course, you can do both, but your response to the people will affect how they view you. I will say it straight out of the gate, but the business side of things aren't too exciting. The city has a handful of shops, each offering the same items, toys, food, drinks, and the like. Prices change daily, and the idea is to buy cheap from one shop, then sell to profit at another. You'll most likely spot the blunder straight away upon starting. Most good merchants don't saunter down the streets to sell some books they bought 5 minutes ago from Mr. A to Mr. B and expect everyone to be happy about it. You will still need to do some trading from time to time if you want money, as money is incredibly important in the game. It's used for fast travelling and buying non-tradable goods, not to mention some quests require a healthy sum of money to complete. It's just more of a necessity than an enjoyable experience. Whatever you choose to do, you get some suggested tasks on most days to help guide you along. None of them are mandatory, and thanks to the city size and your snail-like pace movement, it's impossible to do them all. However, the point is to get out and talk to people. I do want to note though that it will only be a few people at first. The shadows Henry mentioned are all around the city, people you don't know and who don't know you. They're too busy to chat with a stranger. Depending on the task you complete and the choices you make, some of these figures shed their dark cloak, gaining faces and names. You do get to learn more about them if you choose to, which can eventually unlock different tasks or story paths. In one of the first encounters, Dana Allen, Henry's mother, throws a welcome and mourning party when you arrive and seems to be on your side. However, she has a terrible reputation amongst people of her class. Then there's Juliet, the grieving widow. She won't speak to you at first, but then she will try ascertaining your motives before getting you to join her side in the war against Dana. Henry chimes in through dreams from time to time to clarify what's going on, but you always wonder whether you made the right choice. Not every character forces huge choices on you, but it can be emphasised enough. Every decision counts. Whether it's if you sign a letter, what tone you make during certain conversations, who you help out, or whether you interrupt someone to let them continue. Everything matters. All of this affects how the story progresses, which tasks are available, and how many relate to other people. The endless variety and multiple opportunities keep the game engaging throughout, partly because you end up feeling so invested in this strange world with its kind of dangerous inhabitants. The attention to detail isn't limited to just character interactions and branching paths. The unnamed city, which is very reminiscent of London, is rendered in a soft, hand-drawn style complementing the historical setting and the character portraits through exaggerated, convey tons of personality just with their few static images. Dialogue isn't voiced, but there's a special touch added that arguably lends more character than even voice would. Dialogue is presented as if written in pen on parchment. Each character has their own style and sound effect. It's a minor touch, absolutely brimming with personality. Unfortunately, this close attention doesn't extend to everything. Yes, the game is about time management, but making character movements so slow where even casual passerbys move faster seems like an artificial way to keep you from accomplishing multiple tasks. For instance, going to the lighthouse takes almost 3/4 of a day until you can fast travel there. An almost completely blank map also doesn't help matters. Naturally, a newcomer isn't going to know where absolutely everything is. Maps usually have place markers on them, and even strangers in the street can point you in the right direction, but not in this game. This does come a bit tedious, and if you don't know what you're going into, it can become a very daunting experience. So, what is my verdict for A Place for the Unwilling? Well, I rate games on a stream, sale, save basis, and for me, A Place for the Unwilling is a game worthy of streaming right now. It definitely needs some extra tuning within certain areas, and the early days might prove frustrating for some, especially before they get a clear idea of the city's layout. However, it has so many positive areas which make the game fantastic. There's a mystery to solve and a world to save. Here you find a large cast of bizarre and potentially sinister characters. Whether they're trustworthy, you never know, but you push on and make nice to hopefully uncover the truth before it's too late. So that wraps up my review for A Place of the Unwilling. If you're interested in other reviews that I've done on the channel, check out my Dawn of the New Monsters review, which I did over a couple of weeks ago. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe down below as it really does help the channel out. My name is Fletcher from PSX Cloud, and I will see you guys in the next video.